Hello, everyone. Namaste. My name is Geri Habstritt. I'm an Avesa quantum healer, medical intuitive, self-ascension intuitive counselor, and the host of Light, Laughter, and Lattes. And so I'm doing a special edition, let's call it today. I missed my live stream last week, and I missed it because of the very topic that I'm talking about today. So I felt that it was timely that I jump in and do a show today to share with you what probably many of you are going through right now. And that is really the challenge of the benevolent part of you versus the ego or the inner child in you, as we are at this powerful time right now of choice. So the month of May is all about choice. And I'm going to go into that a little bit more right after. I want to welcome everyone via Oneness Talk Radio, Facebook, and YouTube. And so the chat is open. So if you are here, jump into the chat, say hi. Would love to interact with you and see who's all out there. And if you're listening via podcast, come on over to Oneness Talk Radio, Facebook or YouTube. This show normally is on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific time or 6 p.m. Eastern time. So come and join live. Okay, so back to the topic of this show. So normally I have the show on Wednesdays, and I miss my last Wednesday show as we are in this powerful choice moment. And so what is this choice about? We cycle as beings on this planet, as consciousness. We are constantly spiraling. We can spiral up, or we can spiral down, or we can maintain a lateral spin where you have the same experiences over and over again with different players. So if that's the case, then you are spinning laterally. So ideally, if you are on a path of growth or a path of expansion, or you're saying yes to your higher self or the higher aspects of you, that means you're calling forth a lift in consciousness. And that's what these choice months are about saying yes to that lift so that you have new experiences, right? So after we have a choice month, then we have an awareness month, which allows you to be aware of the choice you made. And then the next month is an experience month where you get to experience that. And then we cycle again, awareness, experience, choice, awareness, experience, choice. And so goes the spiral. Well, this month happens to be choice, and it is a big choice for all of humanity because it's not hard to see and notice that we are incredibly out of balance. So based on the choices that everyone is collectively making, intentionally, or they're completely not aware and they're making the choice without even knowing there's a choice to be made, which is probably the largest amount of people on the planet are doing that. They're making a choice by default, not even knowing that there's a choice to be made. Everyone's choice is affecting the collective experience. So there can be, billions of people out there diving into fear, which is a choice, right? That creates a downward spiral, which makes the planet more off balance. And then there's those out there who are probably listening to us right here, who are aware there's a choice, or maybe they're not aware there's a choice, but they're just constantly seeking to be more of who they came there to be. Then those people are choosing something else. And ideally, there would be a balance, right? Because consciousness is the only thing that's going to bring balance to what is happening in the outer world. So to keep this planet in balance, there needs to be enough people saying yes. Enough people saying yes to their soul. Enough people saying yes to more truth, higher wisdom, a higher state of being and living. Right. So we are in that month right now, and we don't have a lot of days left in it. 7, 8 days left in this month. So there's many people out there that are feeling probably a little on edge, and primarily because of the ego, right? The ego is directly connected to that inner child inside of us. And so that inner child has been healed or it hasn't been healed. And based on how much work you have done with it to love it, to accept it, and to heal it will determine if if you're saying yes, it is allowed to move into fruition. Because the ego does not like anything that it doesn't know. It doesn't like change, and it'll choose safety over anything. And for someone to say, yes, I choose expansion, that says to the ego, I'm not safe because you are going somewhere that I don't have boundaries for. I don't know how to do it. Therefore, I get scared. And when the ego doesn't feel safe, it affects the entire body, particularly the physical body and the emotional body, those two areas, and the mental body. So those three areas are directly influenced by the ego. So ideally, we've got these 5 medicines or energies that are spinning right now, which would be consciousness, your spiritual, your physical, your mental, and your emotional. And ideally, you want to give all of those equal attention to keep yourself in a spinning balance for these and to keep, to help keep it a healthy ego. So I'm going to share a little bit about how you can do this and signs of when, you might think you're saying yes, but oh my gosh, what is going on? So the ego will directly affect the physical body, primarily the first chakra. So the first chakra is your root chakra, and it governs your skeletal system. It governs your legs and your feet, right? Those are like those are the main areas where you'd probably notice it. So I've noticed particularly when it's a time of expansion and I'm not feeling safe, that inner child in me is not feeling particularly safe. My legs will have a hard time moving forward. They will get tired really easily. My feet might be extremely sore. They might hurt. It might be difficult to even walk, and I have to take lots of breaks. Those are signs of a first chakra not feeling safe to move forward. And, think about it. What do your legs and your feet do? They physically help you move forward. And so those are signs from the body which are being triggered by the ego that, hey, I'm not feeling so safe right here. You're ready to do something that I'm not feeling comfortable with. Therefore, I'm going to pull you back or stop you a bit. Something else that you might notice is you get ice cold. That's also a sign of a first chakra not feeling safe for you to be who you are. And this is something that I went through quite some time. Um, instantly ice cold, and you could jump in the shower or the bath and turn it all the way hot and just still not be able to get warm. So it's like your internal furnace does not work anymore. So there's some things that you can do. There's some things you can do with this. You can get pedicures or foot massages. They are excellent for the feet. Constant attention to those feet will help the first chakra relax, will help the feet and the body feel better, and it will assist the body to feel safe. There's statements you can say for the first chakra. Primarily, I am safe to be me. I'm safe to express the truth of who I really am. And I deserve because I was born. I deserve because I was born. And ideally you would take time, maybe one hand on your heart, one hand on your first chakra. I deserve because I was born. am safe to be me, or in this moment, I am safe. Whatever is calling to you in the moment, but it's primarily around being safe to be who you are and feeling that you deserve. So that is those are a couple of things to notice, to pay attention to who's in the driver's seat. And you can tell by noting these things within the physical body. If you're having any of those symptoms that I mentioned, it's the first chakra, which means that the ego is driving this safety issue, not feeling safe. Okay, another aspect that the ego might trigger would be the mental aspect of yourself. So, are you feeling extremely scattered? Are you having a hard time focusing yourself on anything? And now it can get hard because sometimes these are symptoms of other things too. If you've just expanded into a new state of being, a new consciousness or whatever, you might have some of these same things going on until you get anchored. So there's so many subtleties about all of these experiences. And so it can be challenging sometimes to know what is really going on with you. One of my key tools are the cards of clarity. So I have these cards here and they are always spot on. And when I have no idea what's going on with me, I use these cards and I very quickly can discern what's happening to me. And when you can do that, it allows the mind to relax. And when the mind relaxes, then your body can do what it needs to do. Your body can relax. And then you can receive easily the guidance from your soul. You can call forth that which you need once you're in a relaxed state. So that's, and it offers you clarity. So these things are brilliant for that. And so another thing that might be triggered, if the ego's triggered, it will trigger the mind. The mind will be all over the place. You may notice yourself being distracted easily. You might find yourself, like defaulting to social media and find yourself saying, why am I on here? I don't, this is something that I just did last week as I was going through this shift in this little kind of balance with my ego and my body and trying to discern what's going on. I would sit on Facebook and think, I don't even want to read any of this stuff. I don't care what other people are doing or what's going on social media. Why am I here? Right? That was a sign for me. You might have a hard time making decisions for yourself. You might have a hard time focusing your energy on anything, important. And so an antidote to this, I have found, is to go for a walk in nature, to be around trees. They're incredibly grounding. And nature has a great way of helping the body to relax. So, again, it's such a key to have the body in a relaxed state. So, I have found like fountains, trickling running water helps my body to relax. Diffusers with different essential oils burning, particularly the wood oils, right? Like the sandalwood or the myrrh. Um, Boy, there's many of them. I'm not thinking balsam, fir. Those are like grounding oils, and they're wonderful to help, ideally the root feel safe, to feel a sense of peace. Soft music, all of those things. Meditation. If you can get yourself to be in a state of meditation, I find that fixes a lot of things. But that can help the mental body relax as well. Okay, and it also has a really strong impact on the emotional body. As you can imagine, children are very emotional. So, do you cry easy? That is a strong sign that the inner child is front and center, as opposed to in the back seat of the bus where it should be. But also Sometimes if you're going through a heart opening or an expansion or a clearing or a healing, you might cry easily as well. So this is another place where, okay, so what's going on here? Am I going through a healing and clearing? Or is this just my ego taking over and I need to tell it to get in the back seat, right? So this is one sign of the ego is if you cry really easily, your hair may actually get finer, baby fine, just for that period of time where your inner child is driving the bus. You might be more drawn to children. You might be drawn to children's stories, children's movies, children's books. These are all a sign too that, maybe my inner child is more front and center than I want it to be right now. And if so, that might be a sign that you need to do a little work with it. Are you wanting to dress a little more childlike? Meaning, frills or whatever that signifies to you. And something you can do with this emotional aspect is if you're just new to the ascension process, to the healing process, the biggest key is to do a lot of work with that inner child and really get it to be healthy. And the best way to think about it is you need to treat it like you would treat a regular little child. So in order for a little child that you're working with to come along with you, to listen to you and be good for you, there's a few things that child needs. It needs to be respected. It needs to be honored. It needs to be loved. It needs to be appreciated. It needs to have fun with you. And if you can do all of those things with a child, that child is more likely to trust you and to come along with you. And so that's ideally what we're trying to do. We're trying to get our inner child to come along with us, to come along with the yes, with that benevolent side of you, with the queen, with the king, with your soul's energy that's trying to guide you into the highest expression of you. You need to get your ego to come along with so that it doesn't sabotage you, right? And it's known as a sly pirate because it can so easily self-sabotage you without you even knowing that it's doing it. I mean, there's been times where I thought for sure I said yes, and I didn't realize that my ego actually won and I wasn't even aware of it until after. So that's what it'll do. So it's this fine dance. But the key is and if you haven't done, you need to do this first, is to really do the healing work with that inner child. If you've had a lot of traumas in your life, even if you've had a really difficult childhood, or maybe it was a case you just had to grow up really fast and you didn't get to have the childhood that maybe you wanted. There's a part of you that feels like it missed out, right? And so you have to go back and give yourself those things that you didn't get. So do you need to go swing on a swing? Do you need to go down a slide? Do you need to go eat that ice cream? Right? You have to go back and do the forgiveness work on the people that you believe did you wrong and love yourself. Look in the mirror daily, look right into your eyes and repeat the words, I love you unconditionally. You are safe with me. I accept you just the way you are. I love you unconditionally. You are safe with me. I accept you just the way you are. And constantly nurture this child that didn't get what it needed back then. So what you're doing is you're building a strong foundation. You're building a healthy ego, and it's part of letting go of the judgments, forgiving yourself for anything that you did do or you didn't do, right? And once you have gone back and given your child all this love and the appreciation and the acceptance, and done the forgiveness work and maybe gone out and played, and whatever you have to do for that play, you know give yourself what you need, and then you will have this healthy ego that will so much more be likely to trust the benevolent side of you. And there's also there's meditations you can do, calling in a circle of protection. And I've done these on the air before. I'm not going to do it today. But you can do these meditations where you have the benevolent part of you that has built a strong wall of beautiful protection around you. And you invite your inner child in and love that inner child and honor that inner child and listen to that inner child and tell that inner child to really let you know when it needs more love, and you can call back on that moment, right? Or you can even bring yourself back to times in your life where it was really, really difficult. You can call up that experience again and maybe do it a different way. Or you be there for you when there wasn't anyone there, and love that aspect of you that maybe didn't get the love at the time when he or she needed it. So whatever method you choose, and there are so many, do that work. And when you do that work, that ego will trust the benevolent king or queen and be much more likely to come along with you, much more happy to say, yes, okay, I trust you now. You've given me what I need, so now I can trust you. And your yeses will be so much easier. And so a bit about the choice. So oftentimes on these choice months, it's not just a matter of making the choice. Sometimes you have to actually really commit with the choice. Sometimes if it's a yes, you have to yell yes, yes, I want to grow. Yes, I want more of my soul as part of my, physical experience. Sometimes you have to shout it, or pretend you have a great big staff and slam it into the ground. Oftentimes, I have found that I need to actually take action steps in the way of higher commitments. So what can I commit to that's more of my truth? So this is my new pattern. This is what I am going to do. Having this radio show and being able to speak about things was one of my commitments during a choice month, to step out and really do the work in a bigger way. And so those are all things that help to, seal your yes. Not only am I saying yes, but look what I'm doing. So hopefully those are all some tips that you can use during this month. And if there's anyone listening, jump in and say hi. Okay, so that's all I'm seeing right now. I do want to pull a cards of clarity. We have a little bit of time left, so I've got 7 minutes left or 6 minutes left. I'm going to pull one. Actually, I'm going to pull 3 cards. Hi, Leslie. Thanks for jumping in and saying hi. Good to see you here. Okay, is anyone else out there in chat land? I'll pull a cards of clarity for each of us if you jump in and say hi. Yeah, I'm excited about the cards too. I love these cards. Okay, I'm going to pull 3 cards. And I'm just wondering here. Quantum Optimist, hello. Okay, beautiful. And Juan from Ecuador. Yes. And Jason, hello. Oh, there's a number of us. Okay. So let me see. Leslie, Quantum, Juan, and Jason. I'm going to pull 4 cards of clarity. Perfect. Thank you all for jumping in. I'm going to pull 1 for each of you. Glad you all jumped in. Okay. 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 Well, it looks like if I were to give this whole thing just a reading, I pulled 4 cards. But the main energy of the reading, and I'm going to read them all individually because I don't do it justice by not. They're very powerful. But it looks like we are all kind of saying yes to more power, and everyone's going through a clearing right now of the past. 3 cards are very strong in that direction. So right now at the very, very, very top, so I did a exploded crown spread. And the gateway to our higher self is Yogananda. Ascended Master 8, Yogananda. Are you a weekend spiritualist? This is the question, and indeed the situation before you. It is the time to stop just talking about how you wish your life to be and to start living it as a full-time occupation. The complete unity of your body, mind, and spirit is your first priority. All healing will spontaneously come forward on all levels and for all situations when you commit to this unifying principle. Your words have no meaning. It is your action that is seeking illumination. Dedicate yourself first to your sacred path. Decide in this moment right now the one practice that you can commit to doing every day. It can be as simple as one moment of conscious breath. However, the key to your unfoldment is to stick with this every day, not just when it is convenient. This dedication will bring forth empowered energy and new life. Okay. And so the energy that's seeking integration into the gateway is Self-Ascension 3, which is the solar plexus card. Abundance is here. How are you claiming it? Are you seeking to manifest to relieve a fear or pain? Are you ready to release false expectations and simply allow the unfolding of your true service to come forward? If your center body is knotted up or unable to digest life, then your intentions betray your truth. Let authenticity be your guide as you dedicate yourself to serving the universe by honoring who you are. Then your intentions will with abundant riches of the universe and shower you with ease and flow. Okay, so we have a pattern here. Both cards were about honoring who you are and the unifying principles of your body, mind, and spirit, basically. Okay, so the next one, the primary issue you're now ready to accept with ease and flow is allness. It's benevolent one's allness. Allness calls us to let go of the limiting belief systems that we have adopted during our time here on this beloved home, planet Earth. What in your life still causes you to judge, condemn, or criticize? Consider each of these actions and then just take one, for example, judge, and write down what it is that you judge and why. Then carefully and intentionally bring to your consciousness the shift that recognizes that each of these expressions is part of the allness. Limits are of this world. You are in your truth without limits, as is everyone and everything. To fully discover the many gifts of this world, there is no right or wrong when you are able to fully be the recognition of the many expressions of allness. Let yourself move from judgment to celebration that all is expressing exactly as it needs to. Okay, and our final card is the primary issue or you are ready to resolve. And I love when I get this card. There we go. It's Sanat Kumara. And so basically what it's saying is that we're all going through a massive clearing right now. everyone that's listening to this right now, whether you're listening to it now or later, you're clearing out allness in your life. So whatever has been going on in the day or days or whatever is being cleared. And here we go. Taking a deep cleansing breath and let the energy of purification flow through you in all levels. You are at a time of great cleansing, and this is manifested around you at the right moment. All actions, expressions, and experiences are part of the process. Nothing is hidden and nothing is excluded. Gently re-examine the recent events around you as part of a cleansing process, and allow yourself to find the gift in your emergence from this energetic baptism. Offer to yourself a symbolic bath as soon as you can. Place into the water your most sacred intention and your gratitude for being offered this new life. Gaze into a white candle while you're in the tub and bring forth your highest guidance. Your energy field is clearing, so is your life. Now is the time to be aware of what is ready to unfold. Okay, so I'm a minute over, but thank you so much for being here, and go take your beautiful baths. Thank you all for listening, and until actually Wednesday, Patty will be here at our normal time on Wednesday with a show. So come back on Wednesday. Namaste.